Hi, my name is Jeanne Owings, and I'm a member of Mount Pisgah. I'm also involved with the Comfort and Care Ministry with Reverend Sarita Wallace, which is why I'm here today. I thought I was going to be asked a question: what Black man in history has had an influence on your life? I want to introduce that man to you, Dr. Dennis Edwards, who's kindly agreed to be with me here today. He's not only been an influence on my life, but he was an important part of the story to my move to Mount Pisgah. Dr. Edwards was my professor at the Ecumenical Institute at St. Mary's Seminary. If I would list all his accomplishments, it would take up our allotted 3 minutes. So I would just let him speak.
Well, Jeanne, thank you so much. And greetings, everyone. Really is a privilege. I had great joy teaching at the Ecumenical Institute and where I got to meet Jeanne, and I'm just grateful to be part of this. I was asked from Jeanne, why do you think it's important to celebrate Black History Month? And my brief answer is that Black history is, of course, American history, and it's really global history. And one of the things that's important to keep in mind is that our history doesn't start with slavery. Black history, is all Black people, and it's part of the work that's been done by Black people in the whole diaspora as we've spread out um, throughout the world. So part of Black history is not just remembering the legacy of the painful part of our past, which we do need to remember and need to make sure people understand, but it's also to recognize the accomplishments that Black people have performed and have how we have contributed to this world in so many meaningful ways. So I think it's important for us to continue recognizing Black history. I was also asked what word of biblical wisdom I could share to anyone who might be wondering how they can make an impact, particularly maybe our men, our brothers, and who can help further the cause of justice and equality for Black people in America. Part of what I encourage with my students, I still teach seminary, and even when I was a pastor, is I encourage people to pay attention to those who tend to get overlooked, people that we might say are on the margins. And when we pay attention to the least of these, we become attuned to what the real issues are in our society. And then we find our space in responding. It can be as simple as voting. That's one thing, but it might be in terms of finding some kind of ministry, some kind of activity that you can give your time and your volunteer hours to. The Lord has said many times throughout the scriptures for us to consider those that get left out, like the widows, like the orphan, like the stranger. So we practice the way of Jesus by seeing how we can advocate for those who are on the margins. That's what I encourage people all the time.
Thanks, Dr. Edwards. So I wanted to say just a word about Black history. In the fall of 2019, I traveled with a friend to Montgomery, Alabama, to visit the museums there. I learned history that I had never known before. This was a life-changing experience for me, and it influenced my thought of becoming part of a Black church. I was just not aware of the extent of the suffering and the injustices that Blacks have experienced at the hand of whites. It is important for white people to learn Black history. Not all whites are ready or willing to learn, but many are.
Thank you, Jeanne.